That lovely. Okay. Hi, everyone. I am so delighted to be with you. Carol Ann is trying to join us. Cross your fingers, send out a prayer. Today, we're going to be speaking about why arguing the point is not an ascension principle. So, what's coming up in your life recently? What may be coming up in your life where you want to argue the point? And when the angels first gave me this as a subject, I thought, oh, holy cow, here we go. What's this going to mean for me? And sure enough, sure as eggs, yep, I want to argue the point about something. I mean, I badly want to argue the point. Yet I do know, I understand that this will not assist me. It won't assist my growth. It won't support me. It won't take me forward. It won't help me. It won't spread any light. It won't help me to grow. And yet, I really want to argue about something. So what do we do when this happens? What do we do? First thing that's very important, I feel, is to take a cleansing breath. Now, this may not change anything on the outside, but what it will do is it will give us a moment where we step back, we take that breath, and it just helps to disengage us from that moment, from the auto response that we may have programmed, that we argue, that, you know, we've got something to say and it's something important. And this simple action can help us to really begin then the journey forward, the journey inward, to allowing all of this conflicting energy that we might have between knowing and feeling and believing that that isn't a response that we want to engage with. And yet, on the other hand, feeling so pushed to engage with. So there's a lot going on there, isn't there? There's a lot going on there. So just take that breath and remember that really and truly, arguing the point is not an ascension principle. It is never going to guide us forward. It is never going to support more light, harmonizing with more light. And it's certainly not going to help us to anchor light on the planet. So this can be a real issue between head and heart. So my heart's really peaceful with that. My head's got something to say about it. Wow. Yes, but. So this is showing me that we are really in an amazing situation. We're in an amazing position where we're making very clear choices about letting some of that go. And it might be in tiny little steps. It might be incremental. But it's an important choice nonetheless. It means that we are stepping up, we are stepping out, and we are stepping forward. And that is always beautiful. So I'm going to see if I can see the comment section. Because Carol Ann had some issues getting on, I was a bit flustered. And so therefore, I didn't have everything set up quite as well as I normally do. So here we go. We've got Arlene with us. Welcome back, Arlene. Lovely to have you with us. And Arlene shares, I have been deciding that arguing is no longer necessary. It's not worth it. Take a deep breath and let it go. Oh, Arlene, you're a champion. I love that. That's brilliant. And you're right. It's not worth it. And I've been having this conversation with myself as well. How much, this is what I've been asking myself, Anaya, how much space are you willing to allow this to take up in your heart, your mind, your life, your energy? And how willing are you to let go and move beyond this old patterning that says you need to have your say? They're big questions. Arlene, do you ever ask yourself that or anything like that? So by allowing this process to unfold, as Arlene's been sharing and I'm sharing, by allowing this process to unfold, we actually engage with our heart energy much more solidly. I did a fantastic guided meditation with Tim Wild, WHILD, Practical Ascension on Facebook and YouTube today. And it was with Commander Ashtar, Archangels Michael and Gabriel. Highly recommend that. This is a way of helping to expand our throat chakra and release all the old stuff, release the blocks to saying what it is we truly need to say. And on the surface of it, just listening to myself, it's kind of like a bit of, I can't think of that word, but it's not, it really does bring that forward, because what do we really need to say? Do we need to argue, or do we need to disengage and not engage? And by doing that, then we can have those conversations with ourselves, with our throats wide open and full of love, in a really healthy and balanced and shielded way that allows us to have that conversation with ourselves and let go of all the reasons that we may feel that we need to argue the point or have our say or point out perhaps what feels wrong or unjust or unkind or unfair. Carol Ann, here she is, darling. Throats full of love. I like that. And we know we have these conversations, don't we, Carol Ann, about how much we want to radiate, how much are we radiating through our words as we speak, as we share. These are very powerful tools that we have, our voices, really powerful. And how marvelous is it that we can step into that power in a balanced way that has compassion at its core, compassion for ourselves and compassion for others as well. Arlene shares, I love to see people's faces when you don't engage in their argument. And Caroline still can't get to join us. So here we go. She's just going to join us this way. So thanks, Carol Ann. We don't realize how powerful we are, Carol Ann shares. And I think this is very true. And during the creation, taking down the messages in the angel code journey into the words whispered to me, the angels kept coming back to this time and time again about the true power and the true worth of our words and our voices. Will it to be so? Now, what do they say? Be careful what you will, for you will it to be so. And when we speak, we are willing our words out into the world, aren't we? So disengaging from that need to have that false sense of control, that false sense of security by saying what we want to say about a situation that actually has no great outcome at all. Because remember, in order to have an outcome, people need to agree upon it. So if I'm agreeing on an outcome by arguing what I think is unfair or unkind in any way, I'm actually adding my energy to that. I'm willing that to be so. Where, like Arlene, by stepping out, standing back, letting go, disengaging, which I have to tell you is a massive undertaking for me. And yet it is so amazing. It's changing my life and me from the inside out. It's changing the outcomes for me. And it's helping me to really get clear with myself about what really is important to me and for me on this path that I'm on. And having that is a real gift. It might take me a while to see it as a gift. However, it is a gift. It's a gift to myself. It's a gift to the world. It's a gift to my life. Arlene shares that she believes people need to stop and think carefully as to what comes out of their mouths before it even hits their lips. Well, I agree. But at the same time, I think it's more about, for me, coming into the heart, into my heart. What is it that's really driving me to want to say these words? Where is it really coming from? And this morning I realized it was coming from a place a long time ago where I didn't feel I could share what was really happening. I didn't feel I could open up about things that were happening in my life, that I had to keep it trapped inside of me and just keep quiet about it. So that then gets quite tangled up with the need to say things. So by untangling all of that, which I'm currently doing, taking it all apart and seeing the different threads, I can see that when I feel that need to express myself and share how I am feeling, sometimes the person I really need to share that with is not the person who I think is at the heart of it, because that's not where it started. And it might not even be possible to share with the people or person who was part of that at the beginning. But I can do that with myself. I can create a sacred space. I can have that conversation and connection in spirit. And another great way you can do it is actually write a letter, write it all out. And it's not a letter to send, it's a letter to express and then to release. So you might like to safely burn the letter or submerge the letter in water and leave it sit until it's absolutely soggy and then bury it in the ground. It might be a letter that you shred. There's lots of different ways to release. And your heart will know which is the way forward for you. And that little act is a big act, and it brings forward so many doorways of opportunity. And Arlene's saying, yes, I can see where dissection can be very important, because at the end of the day, we often are responding to something that is actually under the surface and we don't realize what that is. We don't realize that it's actually connected to something entirely different. And it's that we're really trying to resolve. It isn't really what has been raised for us as a trigger point to invite us to go within and take that journey of exploration. Yes. Carol Ann says, release and let go. That can support us in so many ways. And you're right, Carol Ann, this is a journey we're all on. We've shared about this many times on Angel Heart Radio. So what I'd like to invite you guys to do in the comments on this live stream, later on, if you're watching it as a replay, because we're coming to the show an hour later than usual this week, you might like to share in the comments about how you're experiencing that, what it means to you. We can get the conversation going that way. The other important thing I want to share with you today is how valuable it is to be willing to step back and step out of the energy of arguing, full stop. Because if you think about it, the energy of arguing requires people to be at loggerheads. I've got one point of view, you've got another point of view, they don't meet, we can't agree. So we're already agreeing that we're going to have that energy of dispute. So the question then begs, doesn't it? How much do you want to be in dispute? How much do I want to be in dispute? I don't. I used to feel a long time ago that it made me powerful to stand up and have my say and to raise my voice and have my say. And slowly but surely, I began to realize that it actually didn't. That was revealing that I felt powerless. So again, coming back to Ascension, the Ascension principles of being a light bearer, of anchoring light on the planet for harmony, peace, compassion, cooperation. You can feel the difference, can't you? In those words, just those words alone: dispute, compassion, harmony, dispute. You can feel it. You can hear it. Agree to disagree. Silence can be golden, Arlene shares. You are so right. Sometimes there is no agreement. And that doesn't have to be a negative thing. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. Sometimes that is a point of such power, personal power, by agreeing to let that go. Oh, we have Chrissy G with us. Happy Mother's Day to everyone, and happy Mother's Day to you, and happy Mother's Day to everyone who celebrated Mother's Day yesterday. Whether you have your mum with you or your children with you, perhaps you don't, perhaps they're in heaven. We send you love and kindness and a warm hug. So these are the simple points that I really felt were important to raise today. How much do you want to be in dispute? What can actually be gained by arguing? Is this a place of power or a place of disempowerment? And we've got Mary Gates with us. Thank you, Mary. Oh, this is lovely. What a blessing to have you with us, all of you. So these points are really important because these are questions only we can ask, and they're the answers that only we can seek. And they may be different for me than they are for you. And that is also a place of beautiful empowerment. So bringing forward the opportunity for ourselves to be the light that lifts up us, that helps us rise up and shine brightly, is such a beautiful, magical, and strong place to be. And arguing the point with anyone, and that includes ourselves, right? It includes us. How often do you find yourself arguing? I do it all the time, but I'm becoming more aware of it. I have this conversation in my head some days, and I'm understanding more and more now that that is exactly the same as if I'm arguing with somebody else. That's not a place I choose to go anymore. And when I do go there, it's temporary. And I understand that now. And I'm willing to step out more often now. So take this forward in your day or your evening, your week, your month, your year. And again, Tim Wild, WHILD, Practical Ascension. That is such a fantastic meditation that he has on his page today for Meditation Monday. And it's actually not even a long one. It's a very powerful one about removing all those constrictions around our throat chakra to speak clearly, wisely, and with dedication to light. That with archangels Gabriel and Michael, and also Commander Ashtar. Highly recommend that. So take this forward, as I said, and really love yourself and nurture yourself as you go through this journey, to know that there are many parts. The road has many levels, many what seem like crossroads, or tracks off to the left or the right that always join back. Everything comes together. And the more we are willing, prepared, and dedicated to walking the path that brings us the most growth and anchors the most light on the planet, is always going to be a beautiful path. That is absolutely without a doubt. And hello to you too. Jenny Laws. And Arlene says, very interesting. We'll have to check it out. Oh, honestly, Tim Wilde and Diana Cooper are my absolute faves. And I get a lot of great support on Tim's page with his meditations and his Ascension updates. So thank you, Carol Ann. She says, your messages today are so beautiful and so loving. You were meant to be solo today. God bless you. You're adorable. I love you. So Carol Ann and I are with you each Sunday in the USA at 8:30 Eastern, and each Monday on the Australian timeline at 10:30 a.m. Brisbane time. Please do join us. And here's the thing, if you have a topic, if you have something that you're really trying to come to grips with, or you've been thinking about a lot lately, please let us know, because we can discuss that with you, for you on the show. And we really love that. And I can hear Carol Ann going, yes, we do. We really do. And Prashita is with us. Oh, you've joined us right at the end of the show. Always lovely to have you with us, Prashita. So take these ideas and consider them for yourself. Maybe, chat with a friend, have a cuppa with a friend, Zoom with a friend, and together start working through that. They're showing me this energy of cooperation again, of sharing this idea with others and asking how they feel, how they deal with it, and stepping out of the need to argue the point if they have a very different take on things than you do. It's important, isn't it, to allow ourselves to have that time and that space to simply allow our voices to be heard, and also to allow other voices to be heard as well. And if we don't agree with what we're saying, we don't need to. But it is about paying, I guess, the respect to allow others to speak their truth. And if it's not a truth that resonates with you, then that's just something you can disengage from altogether and move away from. There will always be someone very well suited to have these conversations with. Thank you, Mary. She says, thank you for this radio show. Always powerful and heartfelt, Anaya. Thank you so much, Mary. It really is a privilege and so much fun to bring you Angel Heart Radio. And it's also, I learned so much through these topics, because quite often, it's the same for Carol Ann, we'll have one line that will be given. And from there, we know, we have the faith that it will open up as we begin to share it, and as you guys come in and share with us. So thank you for also being my teacher and helping me on my path to grow and learn and prosper, and to just enjoy this amazing plane of existence that we're on. So lots of love, everyone. Take good care, and remember that you matter so much more than you can possibly imagine. You imagine a beautiful violin or a harp. Imagine a harp with all those amazing strings. You take one string out and the music is not going to resonate, is it? And it's not going to be sweet, and it's not going to have that amazing clarity. And we are all like those strings. And it's so important for us to remember just how much we really do matter to the world and for the world. So take good care, everyone. Be really kind to you and loving to you. And please remember that Angel Heart Radio programs are not to be used to replace your legal, medical, or professional advice, nor your own sound judgment. Lots of love, everyone, and look forward to being with you again next week. And hey, let us know, what would you like it to be about? What do you want us to talk about? What would you like us to share? We would love that. And we would be grateful. We want to bring you what serves you. Lots of love, everyone. Take good care. Bye.